Hi everyone. So it's time for the Sunday update. I'm feeling quite nervous this week. I start a new job tomorrow, which I'm excited about. But at the same time of me being excited about my new job, I'm also nervous. I've been doing medical now for almost 10 years. So this is going to be something totally outside of that wheelhouse. So it's got me a little excited to be starting something new, but at the same time, nervous about starting something new. With that being said, let's get on with our challenge. The challenge this week, because of my anxiety, I had a hard time with keeping up with the 90 grams of protein. Not to say I didn't do it. I'm actually really proud of myself. I did do it, but I didn't cook. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I did eat while on that journey of some of the things I did eat while I was getting my protein in. Uh, Now, the funny thing about that is, even though I didn't cook, I did stay with my protein first attitude. Now, because I didn't cook and because my anxiety was really high, what I did notice is I didn't want to eat a lot. I am somebody who I don't eat when I get nervous. I tend to not want to eat when I get really nervous or when I get really anxious. So, me not wanting to eat definitely helped along with the one
Nice.
pound that I lost. Here's my weight compared this week compared to last week. Um, and again, 1 pound isn't bad. I'm not scoffing at it. 1 pound is a pound. Even if I didn't lose anything, I'd be fine with that. But I'm happy I'm over my plateau, and I am happy that I stuck with my 90 grams of protein. Now, this goes to show that you can hit your proteins if you are actively thinking about it and working on it. That being said, should I have cooked for myself? Absolutely. I probably would have had a lot better options and I would have probably eaten a lot more, maybe. I don't know. The way it is now, I really just had a lot of Premier Proteins and chocolate, is what my go to has been lately. I'm back on chocolate. Um, for a while, if you follow my videos, you'll know that I did not eat or I did not want any more protein shakes in chocolate because that was all I had prior and after surgery. But now I'm back on chocolate, so I'm fine. Although I am missing my vanilla. Uh, but that, again, we're working on it and everything is a work in progress. So we'll see how I really feel this week. I also didn't want to experiment with any new shakes because of my anxiety. I didn't want to unfairly judge something. By that I mean I didn't want to make a protein drink and have it taste funny, in my opinion, because of my anxiety and how I'm feeling. So I decided to put that off. I'll probably have some this weekend. Again, I'll share those with you, but I don't want to be unfair to any protein drinks. Even water this week I had tasted funny to me. And again, that's probably all in my head and not anything to do with anything in real life. But because it's in my head, I have to be respectful and I don't want to judge anybody for it. Let's talk about the anxiety. So, because of the anxiety, like I said, I didn't cook, but I did stick with my 90 grams of protein. But because I didn't cook, I would say that one win I had this week, not the 90 grams necessarily of protein, but one of the wins that I did have this week was that I went into my anxiety. So normally when I get this anxious and I start with the negative self-talk, which I do between my anxiety and depression, uh, what I ended up doing is I ended up, that's going to be on the bloopers because that's my cat pushing to get in. Okay. So normally, jerk. So normally with my anxiety, depression, what I'll do is I will um, do the negative self-talk. If you guys have anxiety or depression, you guys know what that self-talk is, where you're a loser, you didn't cook, you can't do the 90 grams of protein. Then it goes into how are you going to do content about this if you're not doing it yourself, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm learning how to do the Pomodoro technique, and I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. But what it is essentially you work for a certain period of time and then you give yourself a break for a certain period of time. Normally, I believe just right off the bat, it's 25 and 5, if I'm correct. Uh, so you work hard 25 minutes and then you give yourself a 5-minute break. And that could be like a real break, like you're going to get up and walk around, or it could just be I'm going to go get water, or I'm just going to use the bathroom, or it's basically 5 minutes for you to just think about something other than whatever it is you're focusing on. So in doing that technique this week, I did 45 minutes on focus time and then 15 minutes on break time or rest time. This has really helped me kind of stick and work with my anxiety versus working against it, which really helped me. My biggest win this week is that I was able to not let that kind of thinking overrun me or overtake me. So I'm going to continue that habit into this week and I will keep you updated. I might not be able to do the 45-minute focus, or maybe I will with my new job. I did find that the 25-5 is too short a time for me. It doesn't let me get into my work. Not saying that I don't work the 25 minutes, but I feel like right when I started getting a rhythm, it was time for a break. So that I definitely didn't like. I liked the 45 minutes. Even though I did overrun it sometimes and I stayed longer working than I should have, it was still super beneficial to me. And then I downloaded an app. I'll put the name here of the app. And that app is really great because you can pause it and continue it. You can take step back or time it back. So it was really able to work with it. So love the app. I'm still on the free version, so I don't know yet what the pro version is like. If you have the pro version, let me know because I would love to hear what your thoughts are on it. Coming into this week. So coming into this week, I have 2 goals and a challenge. So goal number 1 for me is going to be to start weightlifting. I need to stop giving myself excuses. I need to start lifting weights. I had a lovely, lovely day with my daughters. We were all blessed enough to be able to go out and went shopping. And I was able to fit into clothes, of course, that I haven't been able to fit into. And that got me really excited because I do have to change my wardrobe. I have to stop thinking that I don't fit into smaller sizes anymore. And I have to kind of let go of shirts like this where they are really big on me. And it looks like I'm wearing somebody else's clothing, but baby steps. And part of those baby steps is I tried on bathing suits. I did not purchase a bathing suit. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. The bathing suit was not hitting. Self-talk is everything. And even though my girls are beautiful and they will always support me, and they told me clearly this one works, this one doesn't, I was not comfortable in any of them. I could see all of the skin kind of hanging and just the masa part of it. For my Latina girls, you know, it looks like masa. It looks, I can't think of the word in English. Masa is, I know 8,000 of you are screaming out there what masa is in English. What is masa? Dough. So masa is dough. So my skin has like a doughy texture to it, and not like the old lady crepe skin, because that I'm kind of getting used to in my head, but like it's like pliable dough. So I didn't like the way it looks. So I definitely need to start weightlifting this week. So that's one of my goals. My goal is to do it at least 3 times this week. My other goal is to write out a content schedule and really stick with it. I have many platforms and I'm able to do some things on all my platforms, and I've been trying to get more uniform at it so that everybody kind of knows what to expect on what platform. And I haven't been able to do it because I haven't been able to stick to anything. So now that I'm tapping into my Pomodoro technique era, I think I can do it. So that's my other goal this week, is to try to stick to that schedule and see how that works out for me. So goals are weightlifting 3 times this week at least, and content creation to try to stick to the schedule in general. So we'll see how that happens. Now, the challenge, as you guys know, is not 90 grams. We're going to continue the 90 gram, at least for me. I'm going to continue the 90 grams of protein going into the next weeks. My challenge this week is to add 2,000 steps to whatever you did last week as an average. So I averaged 3,000 steps last week. It is very scattered. I'll show you here what that looks like. Very scattered. I could tell the days that I went to the park and the days that I did certain things. But it's 3,000 is still my average. So as that average hits, I still have to try to hit that average. So that would be 5,000 average for this week. So I'm actually going to try to do 5,000 a day. And if you saw this, I'll put it again, my walking steps or my steps that I did this week, for some of those days, it's going to be quite the challenge. And for some of those days, it's probably going to be really easy. What I plan on doing is walking in between my breaks or walking during my breaks. So house walking, that's where you just walk around the house. Might go outside for like actual outside. This week when I went outside, I really just went outside and kind of sat under the sun and enjoyed the feeling of spring. I'm going to throw on my shoes and actually try to walk around for those breaks in the sun. So that'll increase my steps as well as I want to get back in the habit of taking walks either early in the morning or later in the evening. It's starting to get hot here in Vegas, so that's why I used to do it in the evening. But I will tell you, I feel like that hit of vitamin D in the morning is really what sets it off for me as a day progresses. So that's going to be my other hit. So 5,000 steps is the goal for the week. Obviously, if I can hit 5,000 average, I'll be happy, but 5,000 a day is really what I want to try to do. So that's my two goals and a challenge. So tell me below if you're joining the challenge. You can say whether you're joining or you just add a little running man or running lady emoji on there, and that will let me know if you're joining me or not. And don't forget to count the steps. Also wanted to start letting you guys know a little bit more about me on another level. Basically, I'm a big reader. So the book I just finished was called A Court of Wings and Ruin. I'm reading the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So that's book number 3 in the series that I just finished. And I decided to give myself a Faye break for a little while before I start the 4th book. So I'm actually reading Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the prequel, the second prequel to the Hunger Games. Now for my growth book, because I always try to read a growth book in between all the other books, I'm reading or starting to read the 5 a.m. Club from Robin, I can't remember, but it's this book. So that is my self-development book read of the moment. The other thing is I normally wake up and will start listening to podcasts or my books. This week, or even like 80s, 90s rap, whatever happens to be, pop hits. This week, I have been waking up and wanting to listen to classical, which is weird. But I've been waking up, and while I'm working in my office, I'll put on classical music or piano music, and it's been really lovely. So that might continue. I don't know yet. But let me know. What are you guys reading? What are you guys listening to? Do you switch up genres? If so, what's your switch up? And any recommendations, I'm always happy to get recommendations on books and music. So we have the 2 books and a challenge that we're going to do for next week. I'll let you know the update on that. I didn't measure myself this week. So that's the goal for next week. So again, I want you guys to think about your wins. So again, my win this week was that I kept it pushing, even though I didn't want to cook. This is when I say that I love the mindset of progress over perfection, because it's so easy to say you're not doing this perfectly, you're not following your meal plan, you're not doing XYZ, you're failing. And that will feed into my anxiety, my depression, my not getting up to move issues. And I didn't have that. So remember that. That's the whole point of progress without perfection, is that it's giving yourself the grace to kind of step into the bad or low points, because that is who you are. We are not happy, shiny creatures all the time. I would love to be that way, but I'm not, and I'm sure neither are a lot of you. So give yourself the grace to just keep it pushing without needing it to be perfect. And I love this, and I wrote it down, and it's, you're not broken for feeling things, you're brave for continuing anyway. And I want you guys to remember that as you do this journey called life. This is not just for the weight loss, this is not just for lifestyle changes. It's for you to actually know that it's okay to take that step back, and it's okay to feel that way, to feel your feels. Just keep going, just keep it pushing. So as we're going to keep it pushing, I'll let you guys know about my 2 goals and a challenge. I start my challenges on Mondays always. Monday for me is the beginning of the week. That's when I set up all my calendars for the beginning of the week. That's why Sunday is like my final week of whatever. And remember, my challenges are not 7 days or not 30 days, they're 5 days, because I want it manageable and bite-sized. So whether you start Sunday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's only 5 days. And P.S. again, this is your journey. So if you want to do the 5 days as Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are your 5 days. There's nobody here to tell you you're doing it right or wrong. There is no lifestyle police that's going to knock on your door and tell you you're doing something wrong. Siempre queremos seguir para adelante y nunca para atrás. You always want to go forward and never go backward. And by going forward, it means you do what you want. Haz lo que quieres. Nobody is getting hurt. This is on you if you fail or you succeed. You're the only one that has to hold themselves responsible for this. We as a community can encourage you, and I hope that you do come for encouragement. And if you need it, you drop me a line. I'm more than happy to answer you in any way, shape, or form that I can. But at the end of the day, if I fail, it's my failure, not anybody else's. And I'm the one who holds myself in the highest regard. So I'm also the one who's going to hold myself in the highest criticism. So always keep that in mind. And I will talk to you guys next week. Love you. Keep pushing. I just realized that I probably said keep it pushing about 6 times at the end of that clip, and I was going to delete it and do a bunch of stuff, but I decided not to, and I'm so sorry. I'm apologizing. I'll apologize now. I'm so sorry. But I do want you guys to keep going. All right. Have a good week. Talk to you soon. Bye.